And there is not an empty seat in the house as we get underway. Michigan in their familiar blue to go along with the maize trim. They start 3 freshmen. And Hobbs, the lone senior who gets appreciable playing time, has stuck it out all 4 years at Michigan. And there's one of the freshmen, Holloway, has it roll off the rim. Citron comes up with the rebound as we take a look at today's starting lineups. Brought to you by Capital One. It is a veteran group. Leah King, a great pickup in the portal from Pitt. Maddie Westbeld, King, Citron, Miles, all playing their final home game here. Hannah Hidalgo, an All-American again as a sophomore. Swords, one of the true freshmen, gets it taken away. Citron able to avoid contact. Hobbs gets the rebound, and that was one of the concerns for Kim Barnes-Arico, the Michigan head coach, to limit the live ball turnovers.
Limiting live ball turnovers, getting back in transition defense, but best transition defense is good offensive execution. You see Michigan slow it down right here.
Michigan 23 wins on the season and at large out of the Big Ten. Swords against Hidalgo, it's short, and here comes Miles. Notre Dame has outstanding rebounding guards. They score and they rebound as well. Miles looks pretty good on that left ankle, does have a brace on it, and she took it to the hole.
And we're going to see a lot of switching defensively by Michigan. This is a team that has really great size. They play with 5 guards on the floor at all times, and Olivia Miles looks to test out that ankle early.
Looks like she passed that test. Miles, a grad student out of New Jersey. First team All-ACC again. Gets her first point. In the last 6 games, she has not looked like the Olivia Miles we've been used to seeing for 4 years.
No, she hasn't. And, you know, she missed last season because of that ACL injury and really worked on her three-point shooting. She improved her three-point shooting by almost 18%, so significant improvement, and has struggled from the floor over those last 6 games. So they've got to find her rhythm early.
Notre Dame lost 3 of their last 5 heading into the NCAA tournament, all against ranked teams in the ACC. Hobbs, who had the 28 points in the first round, rims out. Here is Citron. The luxury of having so many players who can rebound and bring the ball up for the Irish. Nice pass into King, who converts.
That was a great pass because Olivia Olson has good size, could not get her hand up and get a deflection.
Olson, one of 3 true freshmen who start for Michigan. Gets the pass from Swords, waits for Citron to get by her, but she couldn't bring it home. Michigan has missed some opportunities with layups. Citron able to gather after Camp Schrader tried to take it away, and this is exactly what Michigan didn't need. The crowd getting into it early and having to take a timeout.
Well, offensive execution, reading the switch, delivering passes on time, on target. Really good pass here by Citron, and the finish by King.
This is usually one heck of a rivalry, right? It isn't all the time, really, when Michigan and Notre Dame play, regardless of the sport. Notre Dame actually playing in the Big Ten in hockey. And here they go, and Hannah Hidalgo with the rejection.
But not the mean mug after the rejection, right? I mean, what a play. And Michigan is just so good at getting back door, of attacking the paint, but Hannah Hidalgo, Sonia Citron, this Notre Dame defense is great at recovering.
They were the best defense in the ACC, and finally, the first bucket, it's Olivia Olson, one of the 3 starting freshmen. Big Ten co-freshman of the year this year. Olson out of Minnesota.
And we heard it, Kim Barnes-Arico in her pregame speech, as Sonia Citron gets a cut to the rim. I mean, again, outstanding execution by Notre Dame. Reading the overplays, reading the slips. They know this is a Michigan team that's looking to switch. Passes on time, on target. But Kim Barnes-Arico talking to her team about just settling in, like you've prepared for this moment. You deserve the opportunity in this moment. And Notre Dame has come out and they have thrown the first punch.
Yeah, Notre Dame with a major reset after the ACC tournament. And there you see the big difference in experience. This was coming into this NCAA tournament. Only 9 games played by Michigan players, 5 of them by Jordan Hobbs alone. And Notre Dame, they have lost in 3 straight Sweet 16, so a ton of experience on their end. A little ball fake and finish for Miles.
Attacking closeouts. You get the ball moving one side to the other, get the defense in rotation, attack a closeout, get an easy 2. That's got to feel good for Olivia Miles.
Terrific start for her. She has hit now for 4 points, a couple of free throws in that basket. Olsen challenged by Citron, who had 3 blocks in their first round win against Stephen F. Austin, but that's a foul.
Well, Friday afternoon was the first time in Olivia Miles' career she did not have a made field goal. And right away, going to the rim strong, tough finish.
She and King go out. Carlin and Prosper come back in. They beat Stephen F. Austin 106-54, their 5th 100-point game of the year. And Neil Ivey was able to play her reserves for quite a few minutes as Olsen gets the free throw. Only keep an eye on Miles, who is getting on the bike, and that is their athletic trainer, Ann Marquez, who has done such a wonderful job here for several seasons. Olsen gets them both. But that's part of it, right? You hurt your ankle, you go out, you want to still keep it warm.
Yeah, keep it warm, keep it mobile. You don't want to sit down and let it get stiff.
Carlin, the Marquette transfer, had a double-double against Stephen F. Austin, her 2nd straight in the NCAA tournament, because she finished her year last year at Marquette with a double-double. That's knocked away from Hidalgo and then grabbed, but the possession arrow keeps it with Notre Dame. Niele Ivey, seeking her 4th straight Sweet 16, played in that game in 2001, the last time Michigan played Notre Dame in an NCAA tournament game. Westbeld hits off the inbounds, and Niele told us she has no memory of that game.
Yeah, well, it's been a minute.
Yeah, 24 years.
It's been a minute. She's gone from player to coach, and you know, your bandwidth, the older you get, is a little bit more.
And that was the year they won the national championship.
That's right.
2001. Westbeld picks up her first foul. Kim Barnes-Arico, the most wins of any basketball coach, men's or women, in Michigan history. And one of her best coaching jobs ever. Wouldn't you say? They were down to 4 players after some transfers last April. And then they were able to get some great freshmen. Hobbs sticking in, and look what they have done. That steps by one of the freshman swords.
Yeah, it sure is. And you know, you get young players who come in who don't particularly have the mindset of young players. And you know, I asked Kim Barnes-Arico, was there a moment where you started to think, okay, well, maybe we got a chance to be pretty good? And she said there were a couple of them. One, that first game against South Carolina, where Silas Swords, who didn't have hardly any experience in terms of practice because she was coming off of that Olympic break, had 27 and 12. And then when they really bounced back from a couple of tough losses in the middle of Big Ten play.
And there's Kate Cavall, who just threw the ball away. A concern yesterday, we were here at practice when she turned her ankle and left the court, did not return to practice, but she is a go. She is a true freshman from Kyiv, Ukraine, made the ACC all-freshman team. This Michigan club getting some pressure. They are the only team in the country with multiple freshmen starting at least 30 games. Hobbs, that's what we saw a lot on Friday.
Yeah, we saw Notre Dame going over that play specifically yesterday in practice, and you cannot shoot the gap on Jordan Hobbs. She's too good at creating that space, at using it, and knocking shots down.
Hobbs' first points of the game, trying to go inside to Cavall. As we get our first timeout, Notre Dame has hit its last 5 shots. So much tradition here at Notre Dame, especially when they take on Michigan. Let's check out now who is fueling the run, brought to you by Wendy's. And Notre Dame certainly is guard here in women's basketball.
It absolutely is, and it started with Niele Ivey, winning a national championship in 2001, continued with Skylar Diggins-Smith, who took this program to another level, Jewel Lloyd, Enrique Gumbuwale, Marina Mabry, Olivia Miles, and of course Hannah Hidalgo, the next in a long line of elite guards to play here at Notre Dame.
And Sonia Citron, a guard as well, but also switches between that and the small forward position. Hidalgo caught women's basketball by storm, as you see one of 6 players with a couple going for 25 points per game. And Hidalgo last year playing without Miles, who, as you mentioned, hurt her ACL the previous season in the final regular season game, and Hannah came in as a true freshman, was the National Freshman of the Year. This year, the ACC Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, and of course, they're both All-Americans. And they are off to a blazing start, up 13-7. They have hit 5 of their 7 shots from the floor. Trying to get to Birmingham, where they will play the winner of TCU and Louisville. Hannah.
And Pam, that move right there shows the growth of Hannah Hidalgo. A year ago, she would have taken that into traffic. The rotation right there pulls up a little bit short, has added that float game.
Brooke Quarles-Daniels, number 5. There she is, has checked in, a junior. Transfer from Oakland, which is another school in the Detroit area. Olsen has the height advantage over Miles. She couldn't get it, but that's Yulia Grabovskaya, a Middle Tennessee transfer.
I like that read by Olsen. You've got the advantage. Go to work on the post. She doesn't necessarily need to fade away. But they're going to play on Hannah Hidalgo's right shoulder, not allow her to drive right. The rotation's a little bit late, and Hidalgo does a good job of pulling up early. And then the offensive rebound. Koval just lost Grabovskaya. Grabovskaya, who does have NCAA experience as well with Middle Tennessee, on the offensive glass.
Yep, played a couple of years with them, and Grabovskaya, those were the first bench points of the tournament. King with the putback. Michigan with that win against Iowa State yesterday is 0 points from their bench, and still were able to come back. It's a hard fall, but Holloway looks okay. King picks up the foul.
Yeah, it looked like it was a clean block from our angle initially, but the body contact on the way up by Leah King.
Leah Holloway, another one of the true freshmen, has been the starting point guard in every game this year. For the 5th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, go to ncaa.com, your home for all 90 NCAA championships, culminating April 6th, the first Sunday in April down in Tampa. Westbell, that's an example of Miles passing. Citron, usually money, she loves those baselines.
She sure does. 4 of 8 from the 3 in that first round matchup against Stephen F. Austin. She's been hot recently, Pam. Sonia Citron.
Boy, Olsen missed another shot in the paint, and Michael McConnell calls a tie-up. No foul, so the ball is Michigan's. Maddie Westbeld herself coming back from injury, didn't play her first game till January the 5th. The first 16 games she missed. Decided to come back and use her final year of eligibility. With that rebound, she has passed Devereaux Peters, and now 7th in Notre Dame history on the all-time rebounding list. Brianna Turner, numero uno. We saw both of them the other day.
I saw Devereaux Peters here today.
Oh, cool. So she just saw herself be passed in the record books. Great alum support. Hannah Hidalgo just ripped it away. And trying to get it down to Miles. Holloway was quick enough to stop the break, but Notre Dame hangs on to possession, and that's the kind of joy Hannah plays with.
It is, and you love to see it. I mean, she's a player who plays with great joy. She gets her energy from the defensive end of the floor. She really values that side of the basketball.
Someone who takes as much pride in her defense as her offense, led the nation in steals last year as a true freshman. She wants it by the Michigan bench. Shot clock now to single digits. Miles, guarded by Holloway, needs to shoot. One more pass, just in the nick of time to King.
Her vision and her instincts, it's just, you don't teach those kinds of things, and that was an outstanding play. Could have rushed the shot. The shot clock was winding down, but finds King. I mean, it's special, right? It's special, it's elite. She sees the rotation coming, drops it on a dime.
Kim Barnes-Arico mentioned that she has known about Olivia Miles for, in her words, forever. The New Jersey kid, and said that she makes passes like nobody else, and that was one of her main concerns.
And Kim Barnes-Arico spent time before Michigan at St. John's, so saw a lot of Olivia Miles as a young player.
And Hidalgo, also from New Jersey, with the pose and the three. It's an 8-0 Irish run. Hobbs trying to get around Westbeld.
This Notre Dame defense has been stifling. It's been stifling. They're active, they're aggressive, they're clean on their switches.
Just 23% from the floor for Michigan as King draws the foul. King, as usual, very active on the glass. That's her 5th rebound.
Well, Hannah Hidalgo, I mean, you have to respect her quickness and ability to get to the rim. She uses that to create space. And there's that joy, there's that energy. Okay, this is a Notre Dame team that was kind of gimpy at the end of the season, heading into the ACC tournament, struggled down the stretch those last 5 games, and talked about this reset, the ability to mentally get some rest, to physically and execution-wise get back to some of the basics. And this right now is looking like that scary Notre Dame team that was #1 in the country for much of the season.
They were. Then after that, as we mentioned, they lost 3 of their last 5, including a quarterfinal loss to Duke, who went on to win the ACCs. But Neil Ivey gave them a couple of days off. Some of them went and hung out at the beach in Florida. And at that time of year, you need a mental reset at least as much as a physical. Holloway left open. Boy, Michigan getting some decent looks. Holloway with the miss. Honorable mention, all Big Ten, Kim Barnes-Arico. Already in her 13th season, taking Michigan to its 7th NCAA tournament. Lost in the first round last year in overtime. Hannah Hidalgo. This is the scary Notre Dame.
It sure is. They spread you out, they make the right play, the right read.
Kicked by Hidalgo, but they let it go. Swords, the talented freshman, 0 for 4 from the floor. Gets it and has a chance at a 3-point play.
See the switch, and Swords does a great job of attacking the post player, and that's a tough, those late line drives, finishing with the offhand, those are tough finishes. We saw Silas Swords struggle a little bit in the first half against Iowa State as well, started to find it in the second.
Finished with 11 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, and 4 steals. She was on the Canadian Olympic team last summer in Paris, right after her senior year of high school, the youngest ever Olympian for Canada. So right now, Hannah and company can hold it for the last shot of the quarter. A quarter in which they have shot 73% from the floor. Carlin got Hobbs to fly by and then finished on the baseline. Michigan down 20 as Notre Dame ends the half on a 15-2 run as as they try to get through to the Sweet 16 in Birmingham. We were back at Notre Dame. It didn't take long for Hannah Hidalgo to get going.
It sure didn't, and she started it on the defensive end of the floor with that block right there. They got aggressive to the rim, knocking down a couple of threes, 8 points, 2 assists, and 1 steal already. Her imprint, though, is that energy. It's that celebration. It's that joy.
Hidalgo, one of the best players in the country, National Freshman of the Year last year. This year, she leads Division I, or is fourth in Division I, pardon me, in both scoring and steals. Led Division I in steals last year as a freshman. Pam Ward and Stephanie White joining you from a sold-out Purcell Pavilion at the Joyce Center in South Bend. Notre Dame shot 75% in that first quarter. Meanwhile, Michigan and their freshmen struggling. That's a good sign for Holloway. She, Olivia Olson, and Swords, the 3 freshmen, were combined 2 for 11 from the floor in the first quarter.
They struggled on the offensive end, and there was little resistance on the defensive end of the floor, and that's where Michigan's going to have to tighten it up, make things a little bit more difficult for Notre Dame.
Need a lot of resistance against this Notre Dame team, especially when they're playing like they are now. King hits the deck. That's 2 fouls now on Greta Kampschrader. Or, pardon me, they are giving the foul to Swords, so just the first on the freshman, who takes the seat. Citron working that baseline. She's so quiet out there, kind of sneaky, and then you give her the ball and she'll kill you. King with the bucket. This is a player not relied on for her scoring, averages 11 points a game and already has 10.
She's not relied on for her scoring, yet still on a team that's got outstanding scores, averages double figures.
Holloway trying to make that pass into Macy Brown. Michigan holds on to it. Brown, a sophomore from East Grand Rapids, Michigan, played 3 minutes against Iowa State. After a quick rest, Swords comes back in for Brown. 18 seconds to shoot for the Wolverines. Hobbs gets it to Olson. Spin move against Citron, who is an elite defender and loves playing defense. She will no doubt be a high draft pick in the WNBA this year. Nice play by Swords to mess up that pass intended for Hidalgo. Hobbs behind her back, working on King. Holloway dishes it off nicely to Olson. Olson's a very promising freshman guard, great size at 6'1".
Yeah, she really does, and Michigan does such a good job of cutting off ball, of making themselves available.
They have to find a way to slow down Notre Dame on this end. Carlin left open, and she airballs the 3 attempts. That is not her forte. She only has 9 threes all year.
Well, there was a switch on this defensive play, and great job of keeping the dribble alive by Holloway and off-ball cutting by Olson. And look, you're not going to make it all back at once if you're Michigan. You've got to chip away. It's got to start on the defensive end of the floor, starting to get a little bit more comfortable offensively. But down on the defensive end, they've got to be able to string stops together.
Wilson able to score over Citron. So Olivia now with 8, got off to a slow start against Iowa State, and Kim Barnes-Arico told her how proud she was that she got herself out of it. She didn't do that earlier in the year.
We didn't see any sulking. We didn't see any bit of not anything other than confidence, really, and they struggled scoring the ball in early against Iowa State.
Citron able to get out of that mess. Koval calling for it, and that's a travel.
But he talks about Olivia Olson, and she hit a big-time three in that first-round matchup against Iowa State after struggling. She has the ability to score in a lot of different ways, but most importantly, has the confidence. This is a group in these young freshmen that are not swayed by anything that happens throughout the course of the game.
And that confidence is being severely tested right now in front of this home crowd. Miles is able to chase it down. Skaya in the game to try to contain Cabral. Hidalgo, that's off to the right. Bounces out. Michigan ball. Hassan Prosper comes in for Miles. It looks like they're managing her minutes a little bit with that ankle that she turned a couple of days ago. Swords into Olsen, pardon me, and then Hobbs lost it. Keep testing that lane area for Notre Dame. Some contact and the fans howling because there was no foul. Knocked away. We saw Michigan do this a lot against Iowa State in their comeback, getting hands in passing lanes and forcing turnovers. That's Holloway's second basket, and Niele Ivey calls a timeout. Notre Dame had led by as many as 20. It's down to 14.
And Michigan becoming a little bit more disruptive on the defensive end of the floor, leading to some easy offensive buckets. Great job of getting in the passing lane after the deflection. Holloway gets a two.
All right, thank you, El, Drea, and Chene. We look forward to that. We have Duke and Oregon in a little bit of a dogfight right now in Durham. Pam Morton, Stephanie White joining you. And Notre Dame taking that time out after a bit of a run by the Wolverines. 11 seconds left to shoot. Citron left open, well short. Westbeld couldn't catch up to it, and 4 straight empty possessions now for the Irish.
Well, that was lucky for Michigan because Citron was open. They had a miscommunication on the switch, and it's not very often when she has that much time and space that she's going to miss.
38% from distance. She had 4 threes in the first round. Olsen with the drive, and here's what we saw the other day. The confidence, they just stick with it. Not overwhelmed in an overwhelming environment.
And they do a really good job of attacking gaps. Oh my goodness.
Hidalgo, how'd she do that?
Guard you, baby. Woo.
Well, Ivey, the head coach for the Irish, one of the best guards in the history of this program. Now Hannah does it all by herself.
And this is the thing about Notre Dame. They can come at you in waves, lead the nation in pace. They can get it done on the defensive end of the floor. They can attack you in so many different ways. Trying to come back from a 20-point deficit, digging yourself a hole early is really, really difficult. Michigan attempting to, certainly Olsen attacking the paint. Hannah Hidalgo reads the help side. King getting an easy bucket, and then Hannah Hidalgo turns on the Jets and gets to the rim.
There's so many ways that Notre Dame can attack you. And Hannah Hidalgo, first in the ACC in fast break points. Not many people faster than her, that's for sure. She's just so creative and nifty with the ball, and not just first in the ACC in fast break points, first in the entire country in that department. And again, she's only a sophomore. This is only her second year, and hit the ground running when she came in last season.
Well, it starts because she's a menace on the defensive end of the floor, right? She gets that pressure. She's able to get out in transition because of those steals.
It's one of the things that Kim Barnes-Arico, one of the first things she said Hidalgo is a pest, and it's nonstop. Foul call. Miles has just picked up her second. Olivia Miles able to start today after turning her ankle in the fourth quarter of the first round game against Stephen F. Austin. Does have a field goal today, did not in that game for the first time in her career. Holloway, Citron using her length. They've kept Hobbs quiet after her 28-point performance against Iowa State, and then there's a foul on the rebound.
Neil Ivey talked to us about the fact that this is a Notre Dame team that got back to the basics on the defensive end of the floor. Ball screen coverage, one-on-one containment, multiple levels of effort in terms of their defensive rotations, and you're seeing that here this afternoon.
Grabovskaya called for her first foul. Westbrook, a little step back. Just had it rimmed out. Olsen comes up with the board. Trying to get it inside, and there's a hold. Michael McConnell, Karen Criado, and Kevin Spurlock officiating for us this afternoon. Hidalgo picked up her first foul. Cam Schrader comes back in for Grabovskaya, so they're back to the 5-guard lineup. Hobbs, even as a guard, gets a lot of post responsibilities this year at 6'3". Holloway guarded by Miles. Slices in and uses the glass. Holloway now. With 7, but there's the answer. And Olivia Miles gives a little reaction.
We're seeing Notre Dame at their best. We really are on both ends of the floor, setting the tone. The reset was good for them. We knew it would be.
Olsen rolls one in.
But so many weapons. Great job on the out-of-bounds play of attacking the paint. Mila Holloway finds just a tiny bit of space, kisses it off the glass, and Olivia Miles creating the space, knocking down a 3. That's a great sign for Notre Dame.
Notre Dame at one point in the season won 19 straight games, went all the way to #1 in the polls, and then slipped up a little bit towards the end of the season. But this is, you're right, this is peak Notre Dame from what we've seen earlier in the year. Good rebound by Grabovskaya, who wasn't on the bench for long, but she couldn't convert. Boy, they've missed a lot of shots in the paint.
You got to make those. You got to make those. You get the offensive rebound on Hannah Hidalgo. You cannot afford those kinds of missed opportunities against an elite opponent.
Hannah somehow able to slither by the defense. Prosper got it blocked by Grabovskaya, but Koval saves the possession. And the Ukrainian gets inside and beats the Russian. Swords still trying to get her footing, and that certainly will help. Freshman from Sudbury, Ontario, hometown of Alex Trebek.
Oh. I would not have known that. Thank you for that.
Northern Ontario.
That does sound like a Jeopardy type of question.
Yes. Who is Alex Trebek is the answer. And who is a great basketball player? That answer is Sonia Citron. And you're not going to see like the tongue sticking out kind of reaction from Sonia. Like ever.
No, they're the fire. She's the ice, right? She's got that poise, that composure. But definitely the big shot-making ability.
Knocked away by Prosper. And that's a backcourt violation. I thought it was knocked away by Prosper, but apparently not, as it's called a backcourt violation. Kim Barnes-Arico pleading her case.
I mean, It sure was tipped right there by Kassan Prosper, and you could see the way that Mila Holloway reacted. She put her hands back, clearly showing that it was tipped before she went to get it.
The ball stays with Notre Dame. In the last 45 seconds of the half. Citron blocked by Olsen. And then Swords is hit from behind by Hidalgo. That'll be 2 on Hannah. She's going to expect her to come out of the game with 31 seconds left in the half. So Coach Ida's going to keep her out there, trust her to play defense and not pick up her 3rd foul. And Michigan can take almost all of the remaining time. Citron goes for the steal. And eventually is called for the reach-in. There was contact on that, and that's 2 on Sonia.
I love this matchup, Olivia Olsen and Sonia Citron. You've got 2 really good, long guards, great size, tough competitors.
Both of them 6'1". So Citron and Hidalgo both with 2 fouls still out there for the Irish. Shot clock off after the foul. Swords hounded by Hidalgo. So Westbeld comes back in. Just under 9 seconds left.
As does Miles. Want to get a good offensive possession right here.
Miles to Hidalgo, heaves up the 3, but Notre Dame takes a 46-28 lead at the half. They shot 58% in the first 20 minutes. 10 minutes away from a trip to Birmingham. Let's get you to the degree in the studio with Al. At Notre Dame, they got off to a blazing start, shot 75% in the first quarter, and they lead 46-28 in the second round game. Winner goes to Birmingham. Pam Ward, along with Stephanie White, as those numbers bear out, their offense was great.
It was absolutely outstanding, and they did it in so many different ways. They got what they wanted in transition, a little lax in transition defense by Michigan. Notre Dame makes you pay, gets a wide open 3-point shot. Sonia Citron, who was hot early, attacking the paint, drawing multiple defenders, making the right play, finding the right pass, and then just terrific individual one-on-one efforts, creating space, knocking down big shots. Hannah Hidalgo as well, getting that separation. 75% in the first quarter, 58% for the game.
For Michigan, they have had their chances.
Yeah, they've really struggled, missing a lot of easy shots in the paint, especially in that first quarter. Started to find it a little bit in the second.
Check out today's game track brought to you by Invesco QQQ, and you see 3 players in double figures for Notre Dame. Olivia Olsen missed 4 of her first 5 shots. Since then, she's only missed 1 shot, had 8 points in the second quarter. They actually outscored Notre Dame by 2 in the second quarter, but were down 20 after 1. So still a mountain to climb. Citron can't get it. The ball is grabbed by Swords as Westbeld goes to the floor, and Sila and Michigan get it to start. Wolverines coming in as a 6th seed in this Birmingham 3 regional. Notre Dame number 3, slipping all the way to 3rd after they seemed to be a lock for a 1st seed until they stumbled towards the end of the regular season. And Olivia Olsen, the freshman, just keeps on doing it.
Dear Kim Bonzarico, you're continuing to find ways to get Olsen downhill to the right, because that's the way she's been successful.
Hit 5 of her last 6 shots. Miles, getting the start after turning her ankle in the opening round against Stephen F. Austin, which was a blowout victory. Scoring over 100 points for only the 2nd time ever in NCAA history for the women's program. Michigan had a comeback against Iowa State. They were down by 10 in the second half to come back and win in the first round. Olsen driving on King, lost the ball. A few mistakes for the true freshman, who seems to be a great fit for Kim Barnes-Arico.
Yeah, she really does. Her tough mindset, her competitive spirit, the versatility. And this whole group is a great fit for Kim Barnes-Arico. There's certainly questions about what they were going to have when you lose most of your team from a year ago. Only returned 4 players, lost 70% of their scoring, 70% of their rebounding, 77% of their minutes. Put together this young group who were thrown into the fire early and finding their way into the second round of the NCAA tournament.
Cleaning up some blood on the floor right now. Basketball continuing with some great matchups tomorrow in the Regional 4, going to Spokane, including Juju and company taking on Mississippi State, Iowa, Oklahoma. The former Jenny Lillis, right, went to Iowa, Berenjet now, the Oklahoma coach, and South Dakota State. How about those Jackrabbits? It seems like every year, whether it's in the NCAA tournament or during the regular season, they get somebody in the power conferences.
Well, they sure do, and South Dakota State is one of those teams that nobody wants to go up there and play. They're always an outstanding team and a tough out. And of course, UConn, seeing the way that AZ Fudd is playing right now, finally healthy in the NCAA tournament, they're a scary team.
Yeah, the good news is you won your first round game. The bad news is you have to play UConn. And the notable first round performances, Madison Booker would get another double-double, Juju Watkins as well, and you talked about AZ and Bajay Johnson. And LSU off to a good start, and LSU will be heading, or the winner in Baton Rouge, I should say. They take on Florida State next. The winner of that will be heading to Spokane. And Marquez, the trainer, there's a lot of stuff on the floor here that they're cleaning up. There is one final from today, Duke. Boy, they were really challenged by Oregon. Ultimately, Duke won it by the final of 59-53. So the Blue Devils, the first team to move on to the Sweet 16. They will play the winner of West Virginia and North Carolina, a team they're familiar with. That would be the 3rd time they played this year. Miles gets it inside, somehow was able to find Leah King. And Leah King has not missed a shot since Friday. She's 6 for 6 today.
And we haven't talked enough about Leah King. I mean, her ability to get loose and her teammates' ability to find her, but what a great fit and pickup Leah King has been for Notre Dame.
Hobbs going inside to Olsen, who has the red-hot hand. Yeah, I think that Leah King, one of the best transfer pickups.
Yes.
Coming over after a great career at Pitt. And they just fitting in perfectly, particularly early in the year when Westbeld was not able to play.
One of 3 players in the nation, averaging over 11 points, over 10 rebounds and 2 steals. Anissa Morrow, who we'll see at LSU, one of those as well.
Hobbs, good catch, but can't finish. Doris Daniels able to sneak in to get the rebound. Olsen. Nope. King gets another board. Miles working on Swords, the true freshman.
And here in the 2-man, again, a little bit of miscommunication. Are we switching? Are we hedging? What are we doing? And then Leah King is running free. And of course, Olivia Miles is going to find her. And then great job, again, taking advantage of the switch, having the dive and slip to the rim. Olsen has been the hot hand. Michigan's going to need some other players to start to find it.
As you can see, doing most of the work offensively. She has scored 12 of Michigan's last 18 points. Good defense there. Carlin coming over, forcing the turnover. Hobbs, who was brilliant on Friday with a career high, just 3 points on 1 of 5 shooting today. Jordan hit 5 threes against Iowa State. A lone senior starter. But Ivy is not happy with the outcome of that possession. former teammate of yours with the Indiana Fever, and a 3-time grandmother. How is that possible?
Yes, I know. I know, and certainly wishing her son Jaden continue well wishes on his recovery.
She says coming back well from that injury. Such a good player for the Pistons and the father of 3, including an almost 3-week-old baby. Foul on the rebound attempt against the Irish. Liza Carlin picks it up, and Noah is the oldest of the 3 grandchildren. The only one who can speak because the other one are really young, and she is Mimi. None of this grandma stuff.
No, don't need any of that.
Mimi.
Mimi.
Out of bounds. Michigan has 20 seconds to shoot. Spurlock keeps telling Holloway to move farther down the baseline before the inbounds. Olsen. Notre Dame doing a great job of cutting down any drives to the basket. And Grabovskaya couldn't grab it in the paint. Carlin caught it and put it in over her head.
I don't think Liza Carlin expected to be that open, but Olivia Miles saw her.
Knocked away by who else? The pest, Hannah Hidalgo. And then she grabs it. This will be 2 points for Notre Dame.
Again, Pam, it's just they can come at you in waves, and you can't afford to be lax on either end of the floor because they've got so many weapons. Their defensive energy and intensity has been really good.
Olsen with the miss. Liatu King is working on a double-double. Another foul call. King right now with 14 points and 9 rebounds.
Well, in transition, Liza Carlin, I don't think she expected to be that open. Olivia Miles found her. Nice finish on the interior, and then again, doing what they do best. Getting in passing lanes, creating turnover opportunities, and playing in transition. I mean, this is a Notre Dame team that averages just under 20 points a game. Fast break points. That leads the country. They will get after you.
Hidalgo, the most for any individual player of the country. Fast break points per game. And she can shoot. 6 of 10 from the floor for Hannah. Holloway with another makeable miss. And Hannah gets clipped from behind. Notre Dame opening up now with their biggest lead of the game. And we're going back 24 years ago. The only time Notre Dame played Michigan in an NCAA tournament game, it was right here on this court 24 years ago. And Niele Ivey was really good. 8 points, 8 assists, 3 steals. They went on to win the national championship. That's Michaela Mabry next to her, and Sherelle Allen, her assistant coaches, and Natalie Achunwa is an assistant now, another former Notre Damer, an assistant from Michigan. Citron with the bucket. It's an 8-0 run. Michigan has turned the ball over on 3 straight trips. Defense continues to wreak havoc, but that's a foul on Carlin, her second. And the defense on Jordan Hobbs. How about Hobbs? Just 1 of 5 from the floor after 28 points the other day against Iowa State. She inbounds it. Single digits on the shot clock. Hidalgo, where Hobbs was past her. Hidalgo took a swipe at the ball, and then eventually another turnover.
Well, it's every single possession. I mean, they've really keyed in on Jordan Hobbs, so their switches are on point. The smaller defenders are forcing her to put the ball on the floor, and they're being disruptive. And Leah King has matched up with her a lot throughout the course of this ball game, and it's just made life really, really difficult.
Michigan's turned the ball over 4 times in this quarter. Prosper takes her time, and the patience pays off.
And a great call, because you've got 2 littles on the floor defensively for Michigan. And so what do? You take advantage of it. You take advantage of it by forcing them, putting them both in the action, right? So you put them both in the action, you have the turnout screen. If they switch, you've got the mismatch. If they don't, you've got the mismatch. You can't help off a citron on the backside. It's an easy 2.
Olsen goes back to the line. Yeah, Jordan Hobbs, pardon me, Mila Holloway was caught on that, trying to guard Prosper. He was 6'3", Mila just 5'10", one of the 3 true freshmen. For the future, very bright for this Michigan women's basketball team. Very unusual. Olsen, an 83% free throw shooter. Missed them both. Olsen's gritty out there guarding Citron. King, who has a double-double today, will have a chance to shoot free throws. 13th double-double of the season. First, she was fouled by Hobbs. King had her career high in scoring in a game against Notre Dame last year when Notre Dame came into Pitt and almost beat them. Coverage of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues on CBS, TNT, TBS, and True TV. For more information on the game times and the listings, go to ncaa.com. Leah King is perfect today. She's hit all of her free throws, all of her field goals, and has 11 rebounds.
Two Canadian Olympians going at it right there.
That's right. Prosper and Silas Swords were teammates in Paris, along with Natalie Achunwa, the now Michigan assistant. Sila the youngest, and Natalie the oldest. Played in her 4th Olympics.
And full circle for Nat, who was the youngest at one time as well.
For Canada. There they are again, the 2 former Canadian Olympic teammates, and they get Prosper for the charge. And Sila Swords, if you're thinking, gosh, she looks young, she is. She just turned 19, and there's Natalie Achunwa, who is over there on the bench. Elbows up for Canada. Achunwa is 13 years and 2 months older than Natalie, who has a banner hung here.
Here in the Ring of Honor at Notre Dame.
And some of the greats that have gone through here. Michigan just 4 points in this quarter, all of them by Olivia Olsen. And another whistle. This one, they're going to get Carlin, maybe some blood. Westbeld comes in for her. Ivy has her name up in the rafters as well, her banner. There's Niel, culminating with a national championship in her senior year in her hometown of St. Louis. What a way to go out.
Against my Boilers.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
What a way to go out. Prosper with another foul. Prosper from Montreal, bilingual. So that was foul for her. What an impressive performance. Notre Dame outscoring Michigan 14-4 in this quarter. Corals Daniels at the line. As we take a look at our bracket, there's two regional sites, Birmingham, Alabama, and Spokane, Washington. And the winner of this game gets the winner of Louisville, TCU. That's coming up tonight on ESPN in the Sweet 16. Haley Van Lith against one of her former teams.
That's right. That's an intriguing matchup. Jada Curry back on the floor after missing the ACC tournament with a shoulder injury for Louisville.
Still doesn't look 100%, but it's great to see Jada back out there. So important for them. She was on a tear when she got hurt. Swords looking underneath, and Citron got a hand in there to knock it away.
I mean, this Notre Dame defense has been stifling. They have kept Michigan at bay. They've made everything difficult. You saw that post-entry pass came from nearly the logo.
Tipped out, and the ball stays with Michigan. Kate Caval protesting. It's Carol Owens, too, on the left. We got to mention her. What a great assistant she has been. Swords hits the three off the inbounds. First points in a while for Sila. Second team All Big Ten and also an All Freshman performer. In the Big Ten, Wells Daniels just picked up her second, and Sila comes from a great basketball family. Her dad was a Canadian Olympian. Her mom played as well at Laurentian University in Ontario. And she's got a sister named Savvy who's being recruited heavily.
Yes, who's pretty good as well. And her father, an assistant coach with the NBA G League team in Brooklyn, who played yesterday in Detroit.
So a lot of Swords action in this area. Detroit's what, about 3 hours away? Not far from South Bend.
Not far.
Judd Foss picks up her first foul. Foss, a freshman from New Jersey, seeing her first action of the weekend, and that sends Olivia Miles to the line. Miles with 7 points today and 5 assists, coming back from that turned ankle in the fourth quarter against Stephen F. Austin. We hit 1 minute to go in the third quarter. Olsen driving on Citron. That's been a fun matchup to watch, boy, and that just wouldn't go down.
Yeah, that was great defense. Great defense by Citron. The ability to stay in the play without fouling, force a tough shot. Nice.
Too much from Hannah, but a great look. And now Swords looks over to Kim Barnes-Arico to get a play call. True freshman running the show with Holloway out, unusual point guard. Wells Daniels lost the ball. Possession arrow Notre Dame. Foss, excuse me, over there. So just over 6 seconds left to go. Notre Dame has to go the length of the court. Citron inbounds. Gets it over to Westbeld, who almost buried it, but Notre Dame outscoring Michigan by 7. They were up 61-36. NCAA Women's Basketball Championship presented by Capital One continues after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
The best part of coaching, the absolute greatest part, is that. Yeah.
Moving on, brought to you by United Airlines. The senior Jordan Hobbs getting emotional. That's Sarah Cernugal, who was former walk-on, got to score yesterday or a couple of days ago, and then the honor of putting the team name up to advance them through the bracket. And Jordan Hobbs with a career-high 28 points, and people like Cernugal, and there been a lot of tears here in the South End.
They sure have. They sure have. But you know, it's emotional. You play your entire career to put yourself in this position, and of course, Jordan Hobbs put the team on her back in that first-round matchup against Iowa State. And Jordan Hobbs, the lone returning starter, the only player who returned, who played double-figure minutes from a team that really didn't know what to expect in Michigan, and has led them to this point in the second round of the NCAA tournament.
Pam Ward and Stephanie White joining you from South Bend, where Notre Dame has been in control, got out to a great start, and have not looked back. They will be heading on to Birmingham, barring a miraculous comeback from Michigan, which would be their 4th straight Sweet 16. They were bounced in the last 3 in a row. Westbeld had that shot at the end of the 3rd quarter, didn't go in. And Leah King, boy, what a game has she had. This is, we have to remember too, the seniors for Notre Dame, this is their final game on this court. And King, her first year at Notre Dame, has been terrific. And she has been flawless so far in this one.
She's been the perfect fit for this group. I mean, she's understated in how she plays, but certainly not in her impact. Another offensive rebound, saving possessions, her versatility, and her ability to run the floor. You see the numbers right there, one of 11 active players, 1,500 points and 1,100 rebounds.
So 4th offensive rebound of this game, and then Citron calmly hits the 3.
She's been shooting the ball 58% from the floor the last 10 games. I mean, she has just been money. She does so many different things. We talk so much about Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles and their flash and fire, and Sonia Citron's just that ice that balances them out.
Holloway with the foul. Citron today 6 of 11 from the floor, 3 of 5 from 3. And when you talk to her, she's absolutely fine with not being in that spotlight. You talk to her about being the 3rd guard and playing with Miles and Hidalgo, and she says, you know, it's just a lot of fun for me to play with people with that much talent. And she means it. No drama. And then, you know, on top of it, as Westbeld is at the line, she's just steady, plays great defense, takes great pride in that. And we'll see her in the WNBA.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
The seniors playing their last game here before a sold-out crowd. Olsen fumbled it. Michigan hangs on to it. Yeah, you mentioned this Michigan team, and one reason why Coach Barnes-Arico has been crying is because nobody expected they'd be here. Back in April, they had 4 players, and it was Jordan Hobbs and her family who told Coach, hey, we got your back, we're sticking with this. The freshmen who had committed also said they were all in. And here they are as the 6th seed, making the NCAA tournament in what seemed impossible, you know, 12 months ago. That was the Hobbs family up in the stands. They are from Springboro, Ohio. Jordan having a tremendous year. Swords slicing in for the bucket. And Hidalgo draws the contact and finishes.
She set you up in the first half because of the pull-ups, right? She did a great job of using the pull-up, of using the float game, and here the little hesitation going around. She has such good body control. Great job of getting into the defense. Tough finish.
There are her proud parents up in the stands. Hannah from Haddonfield, New Jersey gets the 3-point play. She has 17. Citron and King 16 apiece. Miles went for the steal. Holloway rimmed out. Leah King is a rebounding machine this afternoon. So this is pretty good company to be in. In the last 25 seasons, only 2 players in their first 2 years have 1,500 points and 300 assists. Hannah and Caitlin. Come on.
It's the way that they can impact the game, and you look at those numbers. You think about the fact that Hannah Hidalgo this year is playing off the ball. Right, she had the ball in her hands a lot last year because Olivia Miles was not on the floor. Now she's playing off the ball. Is still averaging almost 4 assists a ball game. But to have that combination of players who can play with the ball in their hands and play off the ball, and the versatility that this Notre Dame team has. Sonia Citron can initiate offense as well. We've seen Leah King rebound the ball and bring it down in transition.
And that's part of why they're so dangerous. So many options. And Hidalgo and Miles, there were all those questions about, would one of them transfer out? Could they play together? And the answer is yes, and quite well. Hannah's got 19. Olsen pulls up over Miles, just a little bit too much on it. Miles crossover, tried to step back.
Now a mismatch inside, not able to find it, but give Pearls Daniels some credit for that.
Pearls Daniels, her first year after a couple of years at Oakland. The Horizon League. And one of the many things Hannah's good at is drawing contact. She's right back to the line. Excellent free throw shooter at 86%. And now her 25th 20-point game of the season, 51st of her young career. Only Kelsey Mitchell had more in her first 2 seasons. Indiana Fever guard,
That's
who had a brilliant career at Ohio State.
A couple of Indiana Fever guards on that graphic.
Yeah.
Kelsey Mitchell, Kate Clark.
Yeah, there are. Nice ovation for Hidalgo. It's not a bad backcourt.
No, it sure isn't.
Oh, Olsen dribbles it off her foot. So much has been on her shoulders in this game. 16 points, just 4 in the second half. A true freshman. And timeout taken by Michigan. We will take one as well with Notre Dame up big. Let's take a look at today's Capital One rewarding performance, and it is Leah King.
No, she's been terrific. She is perfect from the floor. 6 for 6. Has been a beast on the glass. 5 offensive rebounds, 5 of her 15. And her teammates have done a great job of finding her in a lot of different positions. I mean, she has been efficient. She's been effective. 16 and 15 to go along with 3 assists and 2 steals.
13th double-double this season, 40th of her career, including 4 years at Pitt, where she had a couple of 19 rebound games, but the 15 rebounds, the most she's had in a game in a Notre Dame uniform. Carlin, good look to Prosper, who couldn't finish. Winner plays Louisville, TCU winner in the Sweet 16. Prosper with the block.
This is the kind of defense we've seen all day long. Right? Notre Dame, they've been aggressive, they've been active, they're one-on-one containment, tough defensive play by Prosper. They've been physical. And we heard yesterday all day in practice the Notre Dame coaching staff talking about its physicality.
Olsen has a chance at the line again. Notre Dame 10th in the nation in blocks as a team. Citron just picked up her 3rd. As Olsen heads back to the line. And a big round of applause for Sonia Citron, the senior, who actually has 4 fouls, pardon me, and what a brilliant career she has had. fans getting a chance to see her for the last time. And we will all see her in Birmingham next weekend against either TCU or Louisville. TCU beat them in the Caymans. And in that game, Sedona Prince had 20 points and 20 rebounds for the Horned Frogs. And Notre Dame swept Louisville in the regular season. Into King, perfection. Jordan Hobbs gets the bucket. It's been a tough day for Jordan. Just her second made basket, but what a great career she has had, and someone who barely played her first couple of years, stuck with the program, became not just a starter, but really the glue of this team.
Yeah, she really has been. Her leadership of all the returners and seniors for Kim Barnes-Arico.
Swords, who uses her left hand a lot, got fouled by Miles. Notre Dame in control here in South Bend.
Leah King has been a beast for Notre Dame, running the floor. If you get down there, Olivia Miles is going to find you, certainly. Picks up the loose ball, gets the two, and Jordan Hobbs gets on the board.
All right, thank you. We're looking forward to South Carolina and Indiana following us. Notre Dame has owned this game from the opening tip. Swords at the line. And joins Olsen in double figures. After a near double-double the first round with 11 points and 9 rebounds against Iowa State. Inside 5 minutes to go for Notre Dame, who have limited Michigan to only 16 points in the second half. Prosper got her shot blocked. Swords, nifty move to get away from Hidalgo, but then lost the ball. Olsen.
You know, it's easy for us to sit over here and look at the offensive numbers that we talk about a lot with Notre Dame in the last 5 games heading into the postseason, and the struggles on the offensive end shooting the ball. But Niele Ivey has been steadfast, and it starts on the defensive end for us. And these first two games of the NCAA tournament, they have gone back to the basics. They have locked in, and certainly today have made a statement on that end.
And it's been impressive as the shot clock goes off. Michigan only shooting 35% from the floor. Notre Dame going in as a number 3 seed. A lot of people were surprised. Charlie Cream thought they would be a 2. The lowest seed to win a tournament is a 3 seed, done 3 times. Carolina in '94, Tennessee in '97. That was Pat Summitt's first title. And just a couple of years ago when LSU beat Iowa. Can Notre Dame join that company? It should be a terrific tournament. Swords for 3. Oh, what a future she has. Olympic experience under her belt, which is always great. 3 starting freshmen for Michigan. And right now, Notre Dame looking towards the big trophy.
Well, certainly the future's bright for this young Michigan team and this program. Again, answering some questions, you know, from a year ago, and losing so many of their players, returning only 4, and so many newcomers, so many young faces and young pieces, and to be in this position, you know, certainly I don't know that anyone would have foreseen that at the beginning of the year. But you run into a buzzsaw when you run into a Notre Dame team, and this Notre Dame team in particular.
He's missed them both. I mean, there's a reason why this team won 19 straight games and were #1 in the country. A hiccup towards the end of the season, but they are back. And Olivia Miles with a standing ovation for the senior from Phillipsburg, New Jersey. Missed all of last season with the knee injury. Gets the hug from Michaela Mabry. That is probably her last action on this floor, but we will see her and her teammates in Birmingham. Illegal screen called on Caval. It's the first for Kate, but Olivia Miles was Notre Dame's first early enrollee.
Yes, before it was a thing.
Yeah. Got her degree here. Not just first team All-ACC, but got the Kay Yao Scholar Athlete of the Year award. We talked to her earlier in the season, and she said there was no way she was going to leave here without a Notre Dame degree.
That's right.
With all that chirping about whether she would leave with Hannah as a teammate.
6 career triple doubles.
3 this year, including 2 back-to-back.
Yes, back-to-back.
Had a triple-double in her first game back. And back-to-back triple-doubles, which has never happened in the ACC. So an incredible career for Miles. You're going to go to her bench with the next whistle. Citron. Too much. Prosper ties it up. The ball stays with Notre Dame. And now Sonia Citron and Maddie Westbeld, 2 other seniors, take a bow at home. Two of the absolute best. Westbeld, one of the greatest rebounders in the history of this team, this program, dealing with injuries this year. And Citron, just good at pretty much everything.
She sure is. She's the glue. She's the glue that holds it all together.
Great defender, terrific rebounder. Hidalgo, just a sophomore, her curtain call. What a game for Hannah. 21 points on the day. First team All-American. Notre Dame now. Lucy Jensen, a freshman, is in along with Sarah Sanugal, former walk-on, and Bella Tarani, junior from Hamilton, Ontario. Don't get a lot of playing time during the season. Sanugal scored the other day, as did Tarani, and this place exploded. Holloway takes it all the way. Contact, but no foul call. And now a tie-up. Ball stays with Michigan. Michigan will conclude its season 23-11 on the season. Another NCAA win under their belt. And they have Silas Swords just knocked down that shot. Olsen and Swords today have combined to score 71% of Michigan's points. And they're true freshmen.
Yeah, true freshmen who haven't had a lot of NCAA experience, but haven't had a lot of international experience.
2 games.
2 games, right?
Including this one.
Yes. But the future's bright. I mean, I'm just looking to see if this is a 2 or a 3. She's clearly behind the line right there. But 3 freshmen that start for this Michigan program. They're certainly going to miss the senior in Jordan Hobbs.
The ruling of a 3-point field goal is confirmed.
doesn't look like it was that close to me.
I was a little, perplexed as to why they checked. Olsen with 20 points now, Swords with 17, including 3 threes. And Jordan Hobbs, again, so much credit to this kid, especially in this day and age. You play 4 minutes a game as a freshman, not many more as a sophomore. Chances are you're leaving town. She stuck it out.
And she stuck it out. She stayed with it. She stayed committed.
Rewarded with this unexpected run to the NCAA tournament. Got a career high, 28 points in her last game against Iowa State. And there's Jordan with the basketball. Points in that game, had 28 points total in her 4 previous NCAA games with Michigan, in part because she barely played. But this sold-out crowd, it's hard to score when you're on the bench. And the sold-out crowd appreciative, and well, you're right, Seth, this is the best we've seen this Notre Dame team play in months. And Jordan Hobbs now gets taken out of the game. The fans behind the bench, the Michigan faithful with a standing ovation with an outstanding career. There's the Hobbs family with the number 10 jerseys. Kim Barnes-Arico said that she hopes that the Hobbs story is a tale that other players will pay attention to, that it pays off if you want to stick it out and persevere and work hard, earn your minutes. And that there can be a reward.
You don't see it a lot nowadays, and it certainly paid off for Jordan Hobbs, but what an outstanding effort by Notre Dame. Answering any of the questions, a dominant performance, looking like that Notre Dame team that won 19 straight. Setting the tone on defense, playing together, making the right plays on offense.
Crockett with the 3, but the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, just too much. The reset has worked. They advance to the Sweet 16 for the 4th straight year, where they will play either Louisville or TCU. Leah King with 18 points, did not miss a shot, also 15 rebounds. We'll see the Irish in Birmingham. Great year for Michigan. For Stephanie White and the rest of our great crew here in South Bend, I'm Pam Ward, as we say so long from Notre Dame.